will be something that will form part and parcel of the content that we shall be running by you beginning right now all the way till midday. So welcome to the program. Use the hashtag K24 Daily Brief at K24 TV. At Sam W. Njoroge, you can also find at Shiksha Aurora, still on Twitter, and find us on our SMS platform. That's 21222, and let your voice be heard on this very show.
Now remember, we will keep sampling your views right here. So later on, we'll be telling you what's been trending right here on K24 TV Daily Brief later on. So yes, the hashtag is K24 Daily Brief, and that's exactly where you're going to find us. Interact with us. Tell us what is happening around you. The question that we're going to be asking you right now is what is happening where you are. We're also going to be speaking to our correspondents from the different areas, of course, from their respective counties, telling us what is happening where they are as they take us through the day's diary, as they tell us the top events that are lined up throughout the day, and of course as they give us the latest from their area.
And talking about the latest, Shiksha, it's time we bring our viewers up to date with the priority stories that we are following up for you right about now. And it's all about the Mau evictions, where settlers within the Mau water catchment area continue moving out as government agencies move in to effect the eviction. Now, yesterday, Deputy President William Ruto directed the reopening of schools within the area. We will be monitoring the situation from that end on this matter that continues to generate a lot of debate.
Alright, and apart from that, the 2019 ASK Mombasa International Show opens its doors to residents this morning. This year's theme is promoting innovation and technology in agriculture and trade. And for the first time, the event is being held during school days, and organizers are optimistic that it will surpass previous shows in terms of attendance. Exhibitors from Ukraine, China, Uganda, Zanzibar and Tanzania will also be in attendance.
Right, that's huge, Shiksha.
Definitely
That's
is.
huge. It goes beyond the borders. But also happening today is that the divorce case hearing today resumes, and that is the divorce case involving Meru Senator Mithika Linturi and Miriam Kitani. Now, the court adjourned yesterday after Kitani asked for time to mourn the death of Linturi's father. The matter continues before the Milimani Chief Magistrate, Peter Gesore.
Alright, and moving on to matters lands, where the National Assembly Lands Committee will this morning meet Farida Karane, CS Lands and Physical Planning, together with the CEO, National Land Commission. So yes, we'll definitely be taking you through that particular hearing right here on K24 Daily Brief later on in the program.
Absolutely, and also laying focus on issues to do with the referendum is that the Third Way Alliance Party today takes its Punguza Mzigo referendum bill to Marsabit County. Now, party leader Ekuru Aukot will make a presentation to members of the Marsabit County Assembly. Yesterday, the team was in Turkana, and of course, it's still yesterday that we got a brief from our reporter Timothy Simwa that the County Assembly of Uasin Gishu has adopted the Punguza Mzigo bill as a county assembly.
Indeed. So yes, those are a few of the things that will be shaping up our conversation right here on K24 Daily Brief as we continue to speak and interact with our reporters from the different counties as they tell us what is happening where they are. Remember, you can also be a part of this conversation and tweet us on @K24 TV. Tell us what is happening where you are. And right now, we'll be taking you to our first reporter as they tell us what is happening where they are, Samuel.
Absolutely, and the reporter is Joanne Kihara, who joins us live from Nyandarua County. I don't know whether that is exactly where you are, Joanne. You will clarify, but kindly tell us what is happening where you are.
Thank you so much, Sam and Shiksha, and I'm at All Kalau in Nyandarua County at the moment. And just to let you know that last week on 27th, there's an incident that happened at a place called Kahiga in Kipipiri constituency, and the incident was about a man that sliced his late wife into pieces. And just to let the viewer know, or just to keep you on the notice, that the late woman is being buried today at a place called Kirima, still in Kipipiri constituency. And another thing is that the body of the man or the husband was killed by the mob immediately. The people after people knew that the man killed the wife, and the body of the man or the body of the husband was buried yesterday at the place called Kahiga still, and the woman is being buried today. And in case of any other thing, Sam and Shiksha, I'll let you know. And that is all I had for now. And and another thing is that the body of or the head of the woman is not yet has not yet been found. Back to you, Shiksha and Sam.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for that particular update. A rather sad story, and we shall keep interacting with you because we'd like to know whether authorities have taken up this matter in the manner that they should. And definitely a sad turn of events. It lay focus on a discussion Shiksha and I were having earlier on mental health.
Quite disturbing indeed,
disturbing.
Especially when she says the head hasn't been found yet. So very, very graphic images portraying in my mind regarding that particular story. But we'll definitely be talking to you further. You tell us what is happening where you are. Remember, you can interact with us. The hashtag is K24 Daily Brief. And of course, in just a bit, we'll also be giving you details regarding what is trending and what has been the center of focus with regard to the topics and the live events that have been really creating buzz on social media. So we'll be giving you more information and a detailed update on that later on in the program.
And talking about events that are creating a buzz on social media is the ongoing Mau evictions, because right about now, Shiksha, it's no longer a plan. It's being actioned on the ground. We've got our reporter Dan Kaburu, who is on location, and in the course of the Daily Brief, we shall be linking with him to brief us on exactly what is happening on the ground. For the first time, the Deputy President has spoken about this matter yesterday, or at least he said that schools should be allowed to continue operating because this is the third term and we will see the KCSE and KCPE examinations being conducted. And therefore, it's only fair that the candidates are given chance to actually sit these examinations. But we shall be also going to respective schools around and within the Mau catchment area to see whether or not there will be any activity today, as well as a follow-up into the human angle to this story.
And remember, the courts have actually stopped 15 schools from being closed in the Mau area. There was news a few days ago that these schools will be closed as they were right in the center of the Mau eviction that is set to happen, you know, any time from now. Of course, now the court has actually sought to stop this from happening. I think it's also because it is third term and KCP and KCSE candidates will be taking their exams in October. So that's something that the courts has taken action against, and of course we'll definitely be covering up that particular story right here on K24 Daily Brief. For now, it's time to take you through the feedback of the day on what stories are actually making a buzz and of course getting you talking, creating conversation on social media. And right about now we'll be starting off with what's happening on Twitter. Remember, the hashtags that have been trending, we'll definitely be taking a look at those hashtags right here and kickstarting this particular segment with xenophobia. Now, this has been trending for almost 3 to 4 days. Of course, it is been really creating a lot of conversation by not just South Africans, but people from around the world. That is at Logic, who says, no one is a foreigner in his or her own continent. I say no to xenophobia. So yesterday, the hashtag was xenophobia, and today we had a new hashtag that says, say no to xenophobia. We've got another one from Tamhoza, who says, if the South African government acted sooner, this wouldn't have happened. In 2008, same thing. Of course, there is conversation that this has been happening. It's not the first time that we've seen xenophobia take center stage in South Africa. Of course, chaos has erupted, and this has created and generated a lot of talk throughout the world. We've got at Moshe Agami, who says, this xenophobia in South Africa is just getting out of hand, especially when children are involved. What did they do? A very important question that has been asked there. What have children done to be dragged amidst the chaos? We've got at Jellybean who says, not all South Africans are xenophobic. I respect the few who are not. God bless you all. One love, Africa. A message of peace and unity there being passed around on Twitter. We've got at Ubani who says, I join hands with Nigerians to say no to xenophobic attacks. All humans, irrespective of their color or country, deserve to be treated well. The wanton murder of foreigners in South Africa is totally condemned. And of course, that is something that has been talked about a couple of times. The hashtag Nigerians was also trending yesterday, so we'll also look at it later on. We've got another one from at Fadil who says, xenophobia is in the way. Peace and love is what I hope that we can come out of this stronger and united as one Africa. Indeed. Another message there, spreading peace. We've got at James Boo who says, as I mourn for the lives lost in the xenophobic attacks, I stand for peace and tolerance, and I say no to xenophobic attacks. Of course, that is yet another message being spread of peace and unity and tolerance. And of course, this is just hoping that somebody hears this and it changes the whole perspective of what people have been doing against foreigners in South Africa. Of course, there has been violence that has been ongoing in South Africa, so we really do hope that such messages of peace really do promote and change the narrative around this whole situation. Moving on, we've got Linturi, and of course that's from at Biatam Butai. That is after yesterday where the court adjourned the case of Meru Senator Mithika Linturi and his alleged wife Marianne Kitani after the passing away of his father. Moving on, so this is what messages are being passed around regarding that particular hashtag. I hope married men learn something from this case of Linturi versus the wife. Now, I think you have to elaborate a bit more regarding what you mean there precisely. And of course, we've got another one saying, I honestly can't keep up. I don't understand whether she's fighting for something or she is just bitter. That's from at Samuel Kim. That is the tweet that has come about. We've got another one here. This is from at Chariot Timothy who says, I agree. At the end, Kitani will have destroyed Linturi completely. Kwanikwa ni mingi huku. And of course, this is something that has been creating a lot of conversation on Twitter. Now remember, Mithika Linturi's dad passed away, and of course, after hearing this news, Marianne Kitani actually requested for some time off to be able to mourn the death of her alleged father-in-law, and I guess that gesture has been taken quite seriously with people on Twitter, members of the Twitter community who are saying that sometimes these things are better off being kept away from the media, being kept away from being advertised. And of course, that is something that we've definitely been talked about. Moving on, at Chepto who says, these matters, Linturi and Kitani, what's an option to wash dirty linen in public? Exactly what I just said. Unfortunately, the washing is splashing dirt on third parties. Anyway, the dirt is sweet and sour. All right, and that's what is basically shaping up the conversation right here on Twitter. We'll definitely be interacting with you later on to give you a feel of what you have been saying. Remember, it is very important to talk to us. Keep interacting with us. Hashtag K24 Daily Brief at K24 TV. Talk to us regarding these stories that have definitely been making headlines and been trending. Samuel.
Right, a lot has been said, especially on xenophobia, and that is definitely a topic that we shall be looking into in the course of the show. But for now, revisiting our top story of the day, the ongoing Mau evictions and what exactly is happening at the Mau as we speak. We would like to bring in our reporter, Dan Kaburu, who's joining us live from the Mau. He will be briefing us on exactly what has been happening, and as far as this particular situation is concerned, is there any activity done around schools within the Mau catchment area?
Thank you, Njoroge. Actually, I am at Kibenet Primary School that is in Narok South. One of the schools that have been affected is a school which is at the border of the community and the forest. And across at my right-hand side is where the border starts. But we'll be showing you that in this live link. Now, this school has more than 600 pupils, and Class 8 has about 8 of them. But today, only 3 have managed to come because we understand many of the pupils are from the other side of the forest where people have been asked to move. So right now, as we speak to you, nothing is happening in the school. Remember last night, yesterday, sorry, the Deputy President said that it is the right of every child to be in school, and even the areas like Mau where evictions are ongoing. But at the schools we've been able to visit in the morning across this place in Njoroge, there are no pupils in the school, and on my right hand is the school, part of the school. Nothing is happening. The place is silent. We have few people seated just on the other side of the school doing nothing. We don't have even teachers here. So no learning is ongoing, despite what the government is saying, that even the pupils or students in these schools will be continuing with their education. But as I take you around in Njoroge, is that where we are standing, we are at the edge of the forest, where the forest starts, and across where we have some cows grazing. That's where we have now the forest begins onwards. Across after the cows there, you can also see a police station. We have a police station there which is actually inside of the forest, and also people asking themselves whether it will also be burnt down like it has been happening on this side. But all the same, this is what is happening in this area. Nothing is happening in schools. We expect maybe today in the morning when we were coming out of this place in Njoroge, we didn't find as many people moving like yesterday night. Last night we had people moving all the way up to the hours we left here, about 8 p.m. and many of them were saying they are not sure where they are going. The pictures you're getting there as the classrooms where nothing is happening. There we have a handful of people here from over 700. Few of them were here. So Njoroge, that's the situation here, and like I was saying to you last night, many of the people we spoke to after our last update at 7 p.m., they told us they are not sure where they are going. They have nowhere to sleep. And the course of the night, many of them were leaving from the place to unknown places. Others were leaving to go to their families who are in other parts of the country, especially in Molo. And some of them told us that the reason why we don't have pupils in the schools is because they've been moved. They've moved with their parents. Many have moved all by themselves. Remember also we had a parents yesterday telling us during the evening that even some pupils have been displaced when they go to boarding schools out of this place. When they come back, they're not sure they will find a place to call home. But the situation is, our city is here, and we are moving across this county and other places which have been affected to see what the situation is like in Njoroge.
Kaburu, just a quick one. You know, we've seen a lot of politicians talk about this matter right here in Nairobi. And yesterday we saw Emrua Member of Parliament, Johanna Ngeno, you know, arrested for leading protests. I don't know how the political presence is in the Mau as we speak. Any traces of politicians there?
No, as it is right now, it's quiet. The place is cool. No, nothing is happening. No police. We've not even spotted any police vehicle in this area where we are at. But maybe in the course of the day, when the activities are expected to increase, we may have the presence of the police moving or crisscrossing like we saw yesterday. Right now, what we've been able to witness in Njoroge is that there are people who are taking their donkeys inside their homes to try and get whatever they can get because they could not carry everything yesterday. So we've witnessed a number of donkeys going back to the forest to people to try and salvage whatever they can from their homes. Remember yesterday about the 10 houses were burnt down, but it was a warning to them to tell them to begin moving. But no politician we've spotted in this place. Of course, also we'll be having another press briefing from some of the leaders from this county in Narok town. We'll be moving there also to have you brief you about it. But for now, no activity much is happening here. The place is still quiet, and people are just moving to try and get whatever they can get from their homes as they continue getting out of the forest in Njoroge.
Very quickly, Dan, you say that you expect activity to increase in the course of the day. What nature of activity is this?
The activity is just people moving, carrying out their belongings from their houses, because yesterday some of them that we spoke to told us they could only carry very few of their belongings because there's no they don't have a mode of transport, and most of them are using donkeys, motorcycles, and pro boxes, which you can spot them across this place. So the reason why I'm saying we might have more activity during the day is because they are right now moving inside the forest to their homes where they used they used to call home to get whatever they can get, because yesterday they were in the process of carrying as much as they can, and many of them are traveling long distances with nowhere to go. We saw them last night even spending the night along the roads. So, and we have we actually have pictures of what was happening last night. I'm sure you'll be able to show our viewers this in this bulletin to how it was last night, because we came across people, we interviewed people in the night who are moving with their donkeys and whatever they could carry. So during the day we expect people to be moving their things from the forest before the expiry date of the grace period that they were given. Njoroge.
Dan Kaburu, thank you so much for that update as of 25 minutes past the hour. Indeed, in the course of the daily brief, we shall keep interacting with this story. Remember, it's the major headline of the day, the ongoing Mau evictions, and exactly what nature of response and planning is going to go behind this particular exercise, and that critical question that is being asked by a majority of Kenyans, the politicians who've been talking about this matter this far. Where were they when it comes to, you know, explaining and making sure that they put in place proactive measures to avert the adverse effects that the residents of the Mau are currently facing? Schools are closed, even after the Deputy President says that schools should be left to operate. Still, a spot check by K24 TV reveals that that has not exactly taken place, because the level of confidence to actually go back is not there. So what way forward for those who are being evicted from the Mau, and what level of attention will this issue get from government moving forward? We would like